Hi everyone, welcome to a demonstration video on how to create a sun path diagram using Ladybug tools. So the first thing that we're going to do is go to the Ladybug tab and go under Analyze Geometry and choose, actually I lied, Ladybug Visualize Data, and then choose Ladybug Sun Path. So drop that component in, and if you zoom into it, the component, you'll see that the only thing it requires to run is the location. So it says here that it could be the output from the Ladybug import EPW, which is the component we have over here that breaks up all of the different features of the energy plus weather file. And one of the features is the location. So we can grab the location from here and pass it over here. And you'll see that the sun path diagram was automatically generated. I'm going to turn off the psychrometric chart. So I'm going to select those, right click in the canvas to say preview off. I'm also going to turn on my representation of my building that's generated by Grasshopper. So I'm going to right click here and say preview on so I can see my building. And I'm going to go to the perspective view. Okay, so one thing that we can do with the sun path diagram is generate a sun, a little sun. But in order to do that, we need to tell the sun path diagram component what hour of the year we want the sun location to be displayed at on the sun path diagram. So we need, if you hover over here, this is where we put in the hour of the year. It's literally a number that represents which hour of the year it is, from 0 to 8,760, where 0 is the first hour of the year, 8,760 is the last hour of the year. To generate that number, we can go to the Ladybug Calculate HOY component. So we'll go to Ladybug, Analyze Data, Ladybug Calculate HOY. So this will give us the hour of the year. To make it easier to find the hour of the year, we put in the month, the day, and the hour. So for the month, let's put in an input number slider from 1 to 12. So we can select from January to December. For the day, let's put an input a number slider, double left click 1 less than 31. So we can go from the first day of the month to the 31st day of the month, if there is that many days in that particular month. And then for the hour, we'll go from 0 to 23, 0 midnight, 23:11 p.m. So let's go to the 21st. Let's go to noon. So if you hover over HOY, you'll see that there's a number there, 492. So January 21st at noon, that's the 492nd hour of the year. And we can plug that in here, and then we'll see our little, that's where the sun location is. One thing we talked about in class is we could change a few more things here, and feel free to play with the other inputs that we're not going to change in this demonstration video. But one of the things that we can change is the scale of the sun path diagram. Right now, you'll see it's kind of large compared to our little building. So I'm going to set up a number slider from 0 to, let's say 10. Let's see what this looks like. So 0 makes it unhappy. Okay. But we might need something smaller than 1. Okay, I'm going to delete this. Double left click. I'll go from 0 to, let's go from 0 to 5.0. You'll notice that when you type in a decimal, so I typed in 5 to the 10th decimal, I put 0.0. Now it's going to create a number slider. So if I went from 0 to 5.0, it's going to create a number slider from 0.0. So it keeps that decimal all the way to 5.0. So now I can access numbers like 2.7, which before, if I went from 0 to 5, it only increases by 1 integer. So that's something nice to keep in mind. Okay, so I'm going to use this, and I'm going to scale it. And you can see that it's scaling from 0, 0, 0, not the center of our building. It's nice to always have our building in the center of these diagrams. So I'm going to change the center point. And what we did in class is we made the center point the center of our floor by grabbing the floor geometry from this viz by type component. This component basically grabs the energy model and creates these meshes of, so if I have over here the exterior floor, it says one locally defined value, a mesh. So the thing that's coming out of this is a mesh, which is 3D geometry that can be mapped onto Rhino. It has an area, it has perimeter, and you can access the centroid of that geometry by using a command called area. So if you double click in the canvas and type area, you can connect exterior floors to area. Then you have the centroid coming out. So this is actually the center of the floor geometry that's being visualized here. I'm going to move this down here, and I'm going to use this as the center point. So this is the centroid, the center of this geometry. This is the area which we're not using. This is a handy way to get the center point. So now you'll see if you go to the top view that your building's in the center. The last thing that we did with this is we actually made a little sun. So a little sphere to represent the sun instead of this dot. So we can go to the surface tab to create a sphere, go to primitive, go to sphere. So this will create a sphere for us, and you'll see that it's generated right here at 0, 0, 0. We want to move it to this point. That point right there is an output of the sun path component, and it is this. The points representing the location of the sun on the sun paths. So all we have to do is move this sphere to that point. The way that we can do that is using the move command. And that's a basic command that comes with Grasshopper, and it is under transform, or no, vector point. Where is it? It must be under transform. Transform, move, yes, transform, Euclidean move. There we go. So if you hover over this, it says the base geometry. So that's the sphere. And then translation vector. You can put a vector or you can just put a point. A vector is basically an arrow with an arrow that tells you where to move something, in what direction to move it. Or if you put a point, it assumes that you're moving from 0, 0, 0. So then it creates the vector for you. So I'm just gonna go to sun point, put that there. And now if we zoom in, we'll see our little sphere there. We can make this sphere bigger by scaling it. So if you, or you could scale, or you could go here to the sphere radius. It's set to 1. Let's set up a number slider from 1 to 10, and then we could make this a little bigger so we can see it. And now you can see that 2 spheres are generated here because this one's geometry is being visualized in Grasshopper, so we can turn the preview off for that one. So there we go. We have our sun, and it is moving throughout the day. So now you know how to create a sun path diagram using Ladybug tools. I'll see you in the next video.